since we talked nonsense so much in the beginning. Newtonian fluid behave like this. Shearing stress, strain rate. We have a linear relationship between shearing stress and the strain rate. How fast does it change shape? How fast does that angle changes? Okay. Or put it another way, we have linear relationship. As a result, it means if we plot the slope, it's constant slope means constant viscosity versus shearing strain rate. Which means no matter how fast you are shearing it, the viscosity doesn't really change much. That's Newtonian fluid. Okay. In comparison, we may have some non-Newtonian fluid. Newtonian fluid viscosity doesn't change with strain rate. And the examples for Newtonian fluid, we give some water. It doesn't change much. Many alcohol, methanol, ethanol, butanol, those low carbon alcohol, they are behaving like yeah, pretty much like water. You think of methanol, ethanol, right? You shake it like that. Okay. And some molten oxide. Some molten oxide, we are talking about ceramics. When you heat up to high enough temperature, they may be liquid. Like tellurium oxide, you will find it flows like a liquid mercury very easily. Newtonian fluid. And some well-dispersed colloidal suspension. For CMP, for polishing slurry, well-dispersed colloidal suspension, low concentration, they are behaving like a Newtonian fluid. Okay? So let's stop here. Beep. It will beep. Okay, so let's continue with non-Newtonian behavior. The first example would be so-called shear thickening or dilatant. Shear thickening, which means as you shear, as you apply the shearing stress upon the liquid, thickening, it means it gets thicker, it gets more viscous. Okay, so this is the typical stress-strain rate relationship. One example, stress, shearing stress, tau, strain rate. Okay, we have this relationship. Or if we look at the slope for this curve, Initially, I have what? Constant slope. But then the slope starts to, absolute value starts to increase. So-called viscosity increases with increasing shearing strain rate. That's called the thickening, thicker, getting thicker. So this is how the viscosity behavior would look like. Viscosity, eta, initially constant slope here, initially constant, and then at the higher and higher strain rate, the viscosity goes higher. That's why we call it, repeat with me, thickening, get thicker. Okay, so these types of material are for certain high concentration suspension of small particles, kind of like as we try to shear it faster and faster, it becomes more and more viscous for certain high concentration suspension of small particles. Another behavior, which is kind of opposite to this one, people call it shear thinning or pseudoplastic. Shear thinning, which means as you apply shearing stress, the liquid or the soft material appear to be thinner, which means they appear to be less viscous. This is the shearing stress versus strain rate curve. The slope, okay, initially kind of more or less constant, but then as we get to higher and higher strain rate, the slope becomes lower and lower. Okay, viscosity, it means decreases with increasing strain rate, shearing strain rate. Or if we plot viscosity versus strain rate, we would start from somewhere and decrease. shear thinning behavior. And a lot of like polymer suspension, polymer solutions are behaving like this. We give you some example, ketchup, right? Ketchup, kind of like you put it there, it doesn't flatten out much. But as you apply a little bit shearing stress, it starts to flow. Oh, your typical screen printing paste or paint. You do not want your paint to be very runny. But on the other hand, when you apply your brush or squeegee onto your paint, you want your paint to what? Flow, to plastically deform. That's called shear thinning. You do not want your paint to be too runny, which means when you apply your paint onto the wall, you do not want them to be quickly dripping down. On the other hand, as you apply brush or squeegee, you want the paint to flow as you go with your brush. That's called shear thinning. As you apply shear, like as applied through brush or squeegee, you want the viscosity to lower so that it can flow. It can plastically change shape. That's for typical paint or for ketchup. When you apply shearing stress, you can scoop out the ketchup. You can make the ketchup flow. Okay? So some other non-Newtonian behavior. One is called plastic or Bingham. Here we have these types of behavior. Shearing stress versus shearing strain rate. What essentially it tells us is when my applied shearing stress is lower than this value, lower than where I'm pointing, this value, I have essentially zero shearing strain rate. I say it again. When my applied shearing stress is lower than this critical value, which people sometimes call yield strength. Repeat with me, yield strength. When the applied shearing stress is lower than this yield strength, okay, there's no flow. You have zero strain rate, which means with time the angle does not change. That's why it's called yield strength. On the other hand, as your applied shearing stress is higher than this value, now it has a constant slope, constant viscosity. Okay? So elastic solid, what essentially the behavior material is like elastic solid at low stress level, but flows as viscous liquid beyond certain stress level, which we call, again, yield stress. Yield stress. Make sense? Okay, so this is kind of what it behaves like. Actually, initially this should go almost to infinity because initially the local slope here is almost infinity. Make sense? It's kind of straight up, right? So strictly speaking, I should plot this all the way up. But then as we get to beyond certain stress level, the viscosity would kind of more or less constant. This is not an exact good drawing, but that gives you the idea. So-called plastic. Okay? So it's kind of like going from infinity drops to quickly to a certain constant value, strictly speaking. And then another behavior people call pseudoplastic with a yield stress. Again, yield stress means below certain value, I essentially have zero strain rate, which means the angle below certain rate, does that angle for that material, does the shape does not change with time. But as you apply stress level higher than this critical stress, which we call yield stress, then I have a finite viscosity, and that viscosity with high strain rate become lower. Okay. Viscosity decrease with increase in shearing rate, but with yield stress. Something like this. Okay? Something like this. I have to change this part. These two are also you would encounter in practical material. So let's summarize a little bit. If we are plotting shearing stress versus strain rate, rate of shearing strain, you see how we plot du, u for velocity, dy, y for thickness. It's kind of, remember we said it's velocity over the thickness of my viscous liquid. Okay, in the end, it has a unit of 1/second. And we would have different behavior. The simplest one is what we call Newtonian, simplified. We would have constant viscosity, means constant slope, means constant viscosity, from low stress to high stress, from low strain rate to shearing strain rate to high shearing strain rate. I have constant slope, Newtonian behavior. We said you encounter this for water, some alcohol, some oxides. Okay? And then the second one is what we call Bingham plastic, which sometimes people say would be desirable, which means I would have, when my shearing stress is below this critical value, the material does not really change shape over time. Essentially, the shearing strain rate, if my stress is below this value, is 0. But then above that, I have a constant, I wouldn't say constant, but kind of incremental linear relationship. Make sense? I would have, that's for certain plastic material. Okay? Then we would have shear thinning, which we said for ketchup, for paint, shear thinning, which is this one. Start from 0. Initially, very steep means very high slope, means very high initially what? Viscosity. Initially, when you apply very low stress, the viscosity is high. It doesn't really want to flow. But then as you apply higher and higher stress, my slope becomes what? In this region versus this region, my slope becomes lower, right? Which means my viscosity drops. My viscosity drops. That's what you observe for paint. When you apply the brush, you want the paint to flow. Make sense? On the other hand, when you remove the brush just by gravity, you do not want the paint to flow just by gravity. Make sense? So that's called shear thinning behavior, acceptable for our slurry, for many ceramic processing. Like when we do slip casting or tape casting, we want tape casting. When my doctor blade moves, I want my slurry to move together with it. Make sense? When you do tape casting, you do not want it to be too resistant as you doctor blade a thin film. Okay? The last one people call shear thickening. Again, this curve. Initially, the slope is low. As we increase in shearing stress or increase in shearing strain rate, my slope becomes higher. That's why people call it thickening, thicker, which as if I have more and more solid within the thing, which make it more and more difficult to flow. Shear thickening. Undesirable, often undesirable for ceramic processing, but for some special condition, you may see this. When you apply shearing stress, it doesn't really flow. But this is not exactly what you want under normal condition. But for special cases, people do add some shear thickening agent into the paste. Okay.